You're watching News First and taking a look at other local stories. Although the inclement weather is dissipating, many areas in the northern, eastern and north central provinces remain inundated. The Disaster Management Centre says 273,576 individuals have been affected by the inclement weather.
14,417 people from 3,825 families in the Polonnaruwa district have been affected by floods. The Disaster Management Centre said that 3 deaths have been reported from the district so far. Our correspondent reported that the Polonnaruwa district continues to receive heavy showers. Several villages, including Arlagangvilla, were inundated when the Kudaoya burst its banks. Over 200 acres of farmland in the area were also destroyed. As a result of the Madhuroya, the Pimburattawa reservoir and the Kudaoya bursting their banks, over 12,000 acres of paddy fields in the Mahawali B zone were completely submerged. Meanwhile, all spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra have been closed, while the spill gates of the Min area and Kaudulla reservoirs have been opened. Polonnaruwa District Secretary Nimal Abesiri said that therefore people living in low-lying areas, including Lankapura and Somawati, were asked to be vigilant. The District Secretary added that loudspeakers were used to caution people. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Apabewardena visited several areas in Polonnaruwa today. 3,761 persons belonging to 1,221 families in the Anuradhapura district have also been affected by floods. Many locations of the Anuradhapura sacred city remain inundated with the overflowing of the Malvatu Oya. According to our correspondent, the spill gates of the Natchaduwa reservoir have been opened. Floods in Vaunia have affected 15,891 people from 4,550 families. Our correspondent in the area said that Vaunia is currently experiencing heavy showers. 4 spill gates of the Pavakkulam reservoir have been opened by 6 inches, which has led to the Settikulam, Periyakulam and Pavakkulam areas being submerged. Many byroads in the Vaunia district are inundated since all tanks in the district have reached spill level. The area near the Buoya bridge on the A9 road was also inundated. Meanwhile, vehicular traffic on the Nuvarelia-Badula road was restricted to 1 lane due to an earth slip near the Haggala Botanical Gardens. According to our correspondent, the road, which was closed at 6 last evening, was reopened only at 6 this morning. 30 homes in the Parna-Elluvankulam area in Puttlam have been submerged, while close to 500 acres of paddy fields were destroyed. Area residents are unable to enter the Puttlam town due to floods. I am currently standing on the stretch of road between Elluvankulama and Old Elluvankulama on the Puttlam Manor Road. This road was inundated yesterday due to the excess water being released from the Rajangane reservoir. Homes in the villages have also been inundated. Day-to-day life has come to a standstill, but I was able to see people using boats to travel today. Minister of Disaster Management Mahinda Amravira visited Deertalawa and Haputale, which were affected by landslides today. Later, the minister held discussions with officials regarding the necessary steps that should be taken. No institution, even state institutions, will not be allowed to engage in any construction without the approval of the National Building Research Organisation. As we have said, the government is providing 3 square meals a day for those who have been affected. We have received reports from some areas and some districts that the Grama Nildaris and divisional secretaries are not implementing this program properly. We have called for reports on these, and upon receipt of these reports, we will hold discussions with the Minister of Public Administration. I would like to responsibly state that we will not hesitate to take disciplinary action against all these people. Incidentally, yellow rain was reported in the track line area in Madrigiria today. Area residents said that yellow rains, which lasted several minutes, were experienced at around 10:30 this morning. Meanwhile, the District Secretary of Mana, Sarath Ravindra Jayasuriya, points out that residents of 3 villages in the Mantei West Divisional Secretariat area in Mana have been advised to remain vigilant due to the threat of floods. The Mannar district may face the risk of floods. The reason for this is the torrential rains experienced in the district. Moreover, floodwater from the surrounding districts also flow through Mannar.
Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajid Premadasa, says that one cannot rest at a time when the people are in distress.
Sajid Premadasa distributed rice to families affected by the floods in Suryavalana, Tisamaharama.
පාටක් ජාතියක් ආගමක් කුලයක් පන්තියක් තරාතිරමක් බල්ලා නෙවෙයි समस्त जनताව විපතට පත් වුණා.
We do not look at race, religion, caste or color. The entire population was affected. This is the holiday season when everyone is relaxing. But we cannot forget the people who have been affected by floods and who are starving during the holidays. We can't enjoy luxuries while they are suffering. That is why today we are distributing rice worth 3.5 million rupees to 7,000 families affected by the floods.
තුණු පවුල් 7000ටම හැම පවුලකටම බෙහෙතකින් තොරව අපි ලබා දෙන්න කටයුතු කරන්නේ.
The leader of the Janasetha Peramuna, Venerable Bhattaramulle Seelarathanathera, took part in a campaign to distribute aid to the people affected by the floods.
Dry rations and books were distributed amongst families residing in Kirivaula and Ambalanyaya, areas located in the Mawatagama electorate. These families were affected by floods when the Daduru oil burst its banks. The politicians should always keep in mind that it is the people who bring them to power. Therefore, I urge everyone to identify the people's grievances and assist them, devoid of religious, race or caste differences. Dry weather conditions experienced in the island during the first 7 months of the year. The Minister of Agriculture says the dry weather destroys 20,000 hectares of farmland. The Minister of Agriculture also says there is sufficient rice for consumption. A problem exists in exporting rice. End of the first 6 months of 2012. Farmers begin paddy cultivation in the Maha season. Paddy fields in several districts destroyed by the inclement weather. Will enough rice be produced for consumption in 2013? Shouldn't attention be focused on preventing a shortage of rice in the country?
Minister of Construction, Engineering Services, Housing and Common Amenities Vimal Weerawansa says that the Chief Justice is driving judges towards a process that challenges the power of Parliament. The minister made this observation while addressing a function in Colombo yesterday.
The Chief Justice says that her position is very special. Her court is attempting to take decisions as per her whim and fancy. When such decisions are taken, she says that she is going to follow the court order. By doing so, they are trying to render the constitutional process of passing the impeachment motion that was subsequently submitted to the President powerless. The judiciary cannot interfere in the powers of Parliament. The judiciary knows this. In spite of this, the Chief Justice is driving judges today towards a process that challenges the power of Parliament.
අග්‍රවිනිශ්චකාරතුමිය ඒ විනිසුරුවන් ඇදගෙන යනවා.
ශිරාණි බණ්ඩාරනායක අග විනිසුරුතුමිය ගැන
In spite of whatever is being said about Chief Justice Shirani Bandaranaike, the people of this country know that she is an innocent woman. They know that this is a mudslinging campaign against her. What are these gangs who destroyed famous radio personalities like Tevis Kuruge and singer Premakirti Dialvis talking about today in Holy Raiment? They have no right to talk about anything, including ethics in this country.
මේගොල්ලෝ දැන් මේ සිල් රෙදි ඇඳගෙන මොනවද මේ කතා කරන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේ රටේ සදාචාරය ගැන එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙනත් දෙයක් ගැන කතා කරන්න අයිතියක් නැහැ.
And up next is the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Well, up next is a look at Action TV.
Yesterday, the Commissioner General of Examinations officially announced the solution they had arrived at to resolve the crisis surrounding the first part of the GCE Ordinary Level Science paper in a manner which would not put undue stress upon the students. It would be unjust to consider that this solution was arrived at in order for the Commissioner General, who was appointed a year ago, to save face. This is because the views expressed at yesterday's media briefing lead us to believe that this decision was not arrived at by the Commissioner General or any other individual alone.
විද්වත් කමිටුව රැස් වෙලා දීර්ඝ ලෙස මේ පිළිබඳ සාකච්ඡා කරලා තිබෙනවා.
The expert committee on this issue convened and held discussions. Accordingly, the Commissioner General's expert committee decided to give marks to all students for the 19 questions in the MCQ section of the paper, whether the students applied the correct answer or not.
ලකුණු 19 සෑම කෙනෙක් දරුවෙකුටම ලබා දෙන්න. ඒ ප්‍රශ්න හරියට ලියවත් වැරදියට ලිව්වත්
If, as the Minister states, the Commissioner General of Examinations has such an expert committee, then that committee must indeed be made up of persons outside the department. Since revealing the names of these members is not equivalent to leaking an examination paper, if at least one of these members had been present at this media briefing, then that member could have been questioned and it could have been established that the proposed solution is the most appropriate and fair. Through the proposed marking system, it could be surmised that the Department of Examinations is still standing by the 19 questions that were leaked. If the Commissioner General's expert committee were able to certify that talented students would in no way be harmed by their decision to award all students marks for these questions in spite of their answers, then it would increase the trust placed in the department rather than damage it. Also, a question arises as to whether the knowledge on science among children in this country can be correctly determined when the solution to this problem is to gift all students 19 marks, or roughly 1/5 of the total possible marks that they could have achieved.